Am I bulk?
Yes,
We are bulk.
we are bulk. Hello and welcome to Funky Quest. This is Funky Games Online Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign playing Dungeons of Drakkenheim. My name is Dan, aka Dandy DM, aka the Big DM, and I'll be running tonight's game. And I'm joined by the rest of the new and improved Funky roster.
Smashbox Matt here playing Farron, the ASMR Way of Mercy monk.
It's me, Ireland. I'm playing Bulk, the Artificer. For now.
And I am Dan, aka Danielus, with I'm the half-elf ranger with my trusty steed Barkus.
Oh,
Can I get an ow?
yes,
Ow?
indeed. Yeah, I don't think we have that soundboard effect.
Yeah, we
if
need
this
one.
is your first time on the channel, we are Funky Games, avid gamers, retro and modern. We post videos a few times a week, single player playthroughs or multiplayer hijinks. Steven, round us out with the plugs.
Make sure you go to Funky Store, funky.store. Things could just fall into your cart, and you should check it out because it's fall time and it's getting chilly out. We got a couple sweaters in there. You can put them on, and it's good. And you could even start thinking about Christmas time. It's almost Christmas time, and so you can get some shirts and stuff, maybe for yourself, so we're at that Christmas party, and you can have that by then if you buy it soon, maybe now. So check that out, funky.store.
Incredible. And then someone will ask, "Oh, where did you get that sweater?" And you'll be able to say, nowhere, Target."
The Target for yourself. I found it in a dumpster on my way here.
Very good. I always forget about that. The favorite moment is an official segment, so I forget to write it down. But you guys had a lot of funny moments offering offering up the Paul goo to the to the demon statue. That was
You
that was a
thought
good
Paul
one.
would never come back to haunt you.
That was a good one. Oh, Paul, I imagined is going to be around for a while. What about you guys? Anything you remember from last session?
Honestly, I probably had the same favorite funny moment just because seeing your expression whenever you're like, this damn Paul goo is coming back. It's like they've been carrying it around for how many episodes?
Yeah.
We need to go back down for more. That's what really needs to happen.
Right. Yeah. My one regret is only taking one vial of Paul goo.
Incredible.
I love how much I struggled at the end to land one
Land
arrow.
We were all struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too great a showing for the party. There were 3 kills. I think let's see. Farron leads at the top with 27, Danielus at 20, and Bulk at 8. So we'll see how those numbers continue to develop. It was hard for you guys last time. Fortunately for you, you leveled up. You hit level 4. And also, you got to take a feat. So maybe take a second and talk about. You really don't get anything from leveling up, but at least what feat you took, Farron.
All right, so I'm going to be starting off with level 4 for my feat. I actually took Fey Touched, so it is going to give me a half feat, so I get a plus to one of my scores, which I believe I put that into Dexterity, and then I get some fun little spells that'll maybe come up every once in a while.
Yeah, it was a very interesting choice, but but it's not totally out of left field, so I'm excited to see it. That's actually what I was thinking you were going to take, but
I'll have to find a fun way to like brand it onto theme somehow, flavor text it or something, but it'll be good.
Indeed, Bulk.
Should I tell mine now or save it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I took Shield Master, which basically I can use a bonus action to like shove somebody back, which I'm very excited to do. And if I'm not incapacitated, my shield's AC bonus to Dex for saving throws against things that only target me, and that affects half damage on success. So that's a thing. So like an evasive action essentially is what it is.
Yeah, Shield Master is a huge feat. Very, very good. So we'll see how that plays out. And Daniels, how about you?
And for my feet, I got long socks to keep them warm in the caves. Okay. Okay, no, I got the sharpshooter feat, which will essentially make my arrows do more damage if I ever land them.
Big.
Indeed. At the cost of being a little less accurate with your arrows, you will do a lot more damage with your arrows. So fortunately your to hit was like to 8 literally. So he can take a -5 people. He's not going to be hurting. Okay, so very
That
cool.
last
Very
game,
excited
though.
to see what occurs with level 4. But I guess let's get into it, yeah? When last we left our adventurers, Petra expertly revived Farron, who was wounded in the party's battle with the Rat Prince. Petra tried to persuade you to come with her and join the Hooded Lantern's fight against the dead, but you all agreed to part on good terms. After you guys said farewell to Petra, the party took a short rest and continued your search for the Delerium crystal. The party entered a room with a disgusting idol of the rat god, and after a voice from the idol bids them to offer tribute, the party offered up the remains of Paul to the demonic entity. Diedrich, in a fit of rage and impatientness, smashed the idol and revealed the hidden Rat Prince waiting in ambush. Diedrich issued a challenge to the Rat Prince for control of an alleged rat army. That kind of came out of left field, but Diedrich seems to know what he's doing. The party moves further into the nest and stumble into the Seer's Den, where they found a rattling warlock with 2 horrifically deformed rat monsters. Battle commenced. The party absorbed blow after blow with their frontliner missing in action and surely would have perished were it not for the protective glow of Millibot. With the beast destroyed, the party lays eyes on a large chunk of meteoric rock with a delirium crystal protruding from the side. As they make their way back out onto the surface, they found a message from Dietrich Steelbelly, which says that he is leaving the party to raise a rat army with the Rat Prince. I want to be specific there. The party continues their way onto the streets and back to Eckerman Mill. Bulk works on extracting the delirium crystal, while the party discussed their upcoming plans. Daniel suggested double-crossing River, and Bulk stated that he is a few years away from death, and the Amethyst Academy ruined his life. So a lot of information just kind of randomly spilled there, but it's good stuff. Well, on Bulk's watch, he completes the extraction of the delirium crystal and sees a vision in the stone of moments of failure in his life. As if spurred to action, he undertakes another bold experiment with the delirium. An explosion occurs, impaling Bulk upon the chunk of meteoric iron, which you remember was, pretty sizable. It was kind of like, imagine like the dimensions of a folding chair. It's like, it's a couple feet tall, that kind of deal. Danielus just rouses himself from inside the mill to stumble outside, and through the haze and the smoke, he sees Millibot dropping the delirium crystal into Bulk's shell, and she seems to have tried to recreate the creation ritual that Bulk performs on her. Another flash of light and sound erupted, and that's where we left off. Now I'm just gonna start here with Bulk, and we'll catch up with you guys very shortly.
All right.
Hello, Bulk. How are you?
Oh, we have ascended.
Bulk, you are in a space of immense darkness. You have no spatial recognition, like you don't really feel like you're a body. And you begin going through visions. The visions all effectively what they are they're different people's perspectives of the exact moment that the meteor struck Drakkenheim. And they just like flash. So some people, the meteor hits the ground and there's a huge explosion and then suddenly their vision cuts off. Some people are running. Some people are just like stuck, frozen in place, staring up at the meteor, and you see it like literally fall upon them. And then you hear a voice. Are you there?
Hello?
Hello?
Who are you?
Who am I? I don't know. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Bulk.
Am I Bulk?
Yes. Am I Bulk?
Yes,
We are Bulk.
we are Bulk. Now we are merged.
Now we are merged.
Now we are one.
One in resonance.
In resonance. In equilibrium.
Balance. True balance.
As all things must be. The voice disappears. And you are unconscious. Danielus and Farron, what do you guys do?
Is this like, did we see Millibot drop this crystal into Bulk, or what exactly did we see?
Danielus saw that for sure. You were a little bit behind him, so you were kind of roused with the first explosion, but you didn't quite make it out to the second one. So as the second one went off, Danielus like flew back, and you guys kind of slammed into the wall of the mill, which is where you are now.
I would be like, Millibot, what are you doing?
As you look outside of the mill, so you kind of have to step up and like step around some rubble. The air is almost steaming. It's kind of a mix of a steam and a haze, but it's blowing about in the wind. You can only see one figure lying on the ground. You'd have to get closer to really get a scene.
Does it look like he's bleeding? Like, is there blood all over the place?
With the way the smoke is right now, you couldn't quite see that. You'd have to get up closer.
I'll rush up to it, and if he's down, I'll try to do a healing hands on him.
I'm gonna draw my bow and be like, Barkus, stay back. And I'm just gonna kind of like slowly approach with my bow drawn.
Okay. Are you readying an action? Or just approaching?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the trigger gonna be?
If he starts to look like he's changed from the contagion.
Okay, very good. Farron and Daniels kind of looked at each other as the smoke clears, and Daniels says, and he kind of readies his bow, and he slowly steps forward as Barkus keeps watch, and Farron moves through the smoke. As you look down, you see Bulk? Question mark?
Okay. Do I see a turtle person?
Yes, for sure. So what you can see, first of all, is that he is unconscious. He's unmoving. He doesn't wake up at all as you watch. His shell, you can see a giant. It looks like the inner 75% of the shell, like from the center outward, is just gone. And there is no blood currently, but there's a lot of blood around the body.
If I can go up and touch him, I'll do a healing hands, though, in case he's, like, down.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I brain farted. Let me continue the description. Oh. Where his shell was, it's now being consumed, would be the wrong word, almost like reinforced or kind of domed, with a shiny but still dull metallic substance. Not only is it spreading over his shell, it's slowly growing out over his body, which, as you inspect, it looks like quite mangled. Like all of the limbs are like just withered up.
So this is actively happening. Like whatever this it's like actively spreading around him.
Correct. It is actively happening. So you're kind of just like looking, you're in shock. So the shell is now like fully formed. It's like a meteoric is the wrong word, but it's a metallic type substance, which now looks like a shell, but it's not the shell that you've seen before. And
does it seem like it's spreading still? That's going to be my question. Like, does it stop at the shell, or does it start going toward appendages?
No, it's spreading. It's spreading.
If I could try to find a piece of him that's still turtle and not metal, I'll do the healing hands there. It could be like, I don't know what the hell this is.
Sure, his head has remained turtle-like. His clothes and his goggles have been blown away. It appears that they have incinerated. But his turtly head remains, and you do place your hands down. And you do cast healing hands. Sure, to no effect. He doesn't rouse, but he's just kind of laying there unconscious. He's breathing.
Okay, what is Millibot doing? Is she zooming around? Is she talking? Is she...
That's a good point. You look around and you notice a few things. So first of all, Millibot is not around. The large meteoric iron is not around, and the delirium crystal as well is not around. Danielus, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of like watching and being like, be careful, Farron. Like, don't get too close. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like molting or just a goner at this point.
Aaron's just kind of like in his head, like, I've never quite read about turtles doing this, and I get out my quarterstaff and just start poking him, trying to like rouse him, but being a little bit hesitant to touch the metally parts.
Do you think he needs a potion of healing?
I tried to heal him a little bit. It didn't seem to have any effect. I don't know what's happening. Would River be? Is River gonna like? Isn't that mage woman? Isn't that River the mage woman? Isn't she? Will she know?
Maybe we take him to her.
Isn't she supposed to come here?
That's true. Perhaps she heard the explosion.
Yeah, probably. Although it is kind of bulk, so I don't think that'll surprise her.
Yeah, that's true. Are you there, Bulk?
I keep nudging him with the quarterstaff.
He is not.
The
metallic substance has now spread out and is starting to like reform into the shape of an armored leg.
Did he fuse with Millibot?
Maybe. I don't really have much else I can really try to do. If only we had more Paul goo.
I know.
I guess we're along for the ride. I can't quite heal him. We can't wake him. I don't know what
Let's take a short rest.
I guess
wait it out.
We'll observe him and see what happens.
Should we drag him into the house to heal?
I mean, the metal seems to be spreading, so I might be careful. I don't know if it'll jump from person to person. And we don't know where that delirium crystal is. I guess we have to be kind of careful what we touch. And maybe inside of him?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Effectively, what occurred is Bulk took his watch. So now it's time for him to rest and time for you guys to watch. I believe Farron was first and Danielus was second. You guys are certainly free to switch it up however you'd like.
I'm just gonna go up, slap Danielus on the back, be like, well, wake me up if something happens.
Thanks. Very good. So Farron heads off inside the mill to sleep. And Danielus is just left with the I don't know, embryonic expansion of Bulk. It's really quite something.
I prefer the rebirth.
Indeed. So Danielus, what are you doing on your watch? I'm curious.
So where is this at? In like the room or outside?
This is outside, like around a campfire.
I think I'm just gonna post up across from Bulk and just keep watch on him. I guess just watch this transformation. I'm just gonna be entranced by it, and Barkus is gonna be there with me, just kind of laying at my feet, and I'm just gonna be studying this.
What does Danielus think about something like this? Does he have any knowledge of magic? Of this kind of magic?
I have knowledge of magic, but nothing like this. Not like this seems like alchemy with like, or not alchemy, but like metal and all that. So this is just like out of my wheelhouse. They don't have this in my village.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I think this is just going to be like.
So, gentlemen, as you may recall, I said last week that you guys each have a vision while you're on watch. We heard Bulks last week, which if you guys don't remember that, I can go back through it again if you'd like, or just summarize it. But you guys have the decision to either withhold your vision from the party or share it with them. It's completely up to you. And we'll just role play it as if like, hey, this is you telling the story the morning after. But for now. So Danielus, will you be sharing your vision?
Yes, I can share it.
Very good. As you sit around the campfire at the mill, you're kind of just like picking up little flecks of rock and like tossing it at Bulk as he like slowly transforms. As you stare at him, you start to have a vision. It begins in your clock tower hideout. You and Barkus feast, sitting in comfort, surrounded by gold and treasure, while you hear haunting screams of pain and despair from outside. A man's voice calls out to you. Is this what you've become? We need you! I trusted you! You shake the voice from your mind and go back to your meal, and you find that it is rotted and stricken with mold and fungus. Suddenly, the most beautiful voice you've ever heard calls to you from the window. You turn to see a red-feathered harpy in flight outside. It's the Crimson Countess. Barkus walks forward and falls out of your view, outside of the window. Compelled, you follow, stepping into the window. Stretch out your arms, fall forward, and down, hundreds of feet, as the voice turns to laughter. Your vision ends as you smash into the ground besides Barkus, and you regain your composure.
You have one of those waking dreams where you just like spread eagle, try to catch something.
Yeah. When you hit the ground really good.
Yeah. So, any thoughts, or should we pass on your rest or your watch?
I think we'll pass on my watch.
Very good. Okay, Farron.
No, I'm good. Just kidding. Let's go.
Yeah. You wake up and you tag out old Danielus. And how are you kind of settling in? What do you think about Bulk? Where's Farron's head at right now?
Baron's head's a little bit confused. He's never seen anything like this and never heard anyone talk about it. I don't really feel like he probably has much information about meteoric occurrences besides the one that just ruined Drakkenheim. So he's probably just a little bit skeptical, a little bit worried about what the state of Bulk might be like after this. But yeah, I'm guessing I wake up like probably a little bit on edge, woke up before needing to be woken up, and just kind of see Danielus like chucking some rocks at him. So I kind of relieve him, and I sit down and then just start chucking some rocks.
Very good. And Bulk doesn't wake up at all. It's the process has completed over what remained of his legs. It is now spreading to kind of the front side of his torso and out to his arms, still continuing on. Nothing appears to be happening to his head. It appears it's just stopping there. But you also get... Yeah,
I was just going to say, probably whenever I take Overwatch, I'll probably say like a little prayer from the Sacred Flame. Just, I know that my whole little sect is like trying to root out corruption, but still belief system. So he thinks he doesn't know what it's going to be worth, but at the very least, it can't hurt.
Sure, that's actually a very nice thing that you did.
But then I go back to chucking the rocks.
Yes, absolutely.
Sour Patch Kid.
So Farron, as you also get into a nice rhythm, you just really like throwing these rocks, and you begin to have a vision. Your vision begins with a giant sinkhole enveloping the city of Drakkenheim. Black flaming tendrils spread from the hole, enveloping various places from your past. You see your old home, your neighborhood streets, and friends. It seems unending in its grasp and leaves nothing but darkness and horrific screaming. You see 4 tiny wisps of flame burning at the edge of darkness. Together they create a noticeable light in the dark, but as they stray from each other, their light dims. So one of these lights stays relatively the same. There's one that you notice starts to burn out almost down to an ember. The other two, they begin to glow significantly brighter, almost as if they glow in competition with each other. One rises, the other falls, then one rises, then the other falls. Meanwhile, the darkness continues to spread, like necrotic vines climbing up the walls of Castle Draken and even reaching up into the sky towards the heavens. And you regain your composure.
All right. And then you said how many flames were there? How many embers?
There were 4 initially.
Whenever I was having this vision, was I one of the embers, or I saw 4 off in the distance?
Make a perception check? Question.
Okay. And I think we do this in D&D Beyond.
We do.
It's only a 12.
A 12. You had no sense of whether you were one or not.
Okay. Theron probably in his head's just probably trying to make sense of things. The 2 competing, the one almost burned out. He's just probably in kind of like a self-trance, trying to figure out what it could mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else before you end your watch?
No, probably that's going to be occupying most of his time because that's cryptic.
Yeah. Yes, he's certainly not used to visions of these
Nope.
kinds. Very good. So your watch passes without any further incident. Dawn breaks, and Daniels, you wake up and join Farron.
How'd your rest go? Nothing's changed out here yet. It just seems to be progressing upward.
Yeah, you didn't get attacked by any mutant turtles.
I mean, not yet. Maybe in a little bit.
Variety.
Did you sleep well at all?
No, this is all a bit rattling. We went from a group of 4, now we're down to maybe 2. This is
Yeah,
quite
I
intense.
kept thinking I was hearing something while I slept. So it's been a weird night.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's just the mill and how close we are to the city, but something's definitely off.
So does it look like he's about to get up?
I
Um,
chuck some more rocks.
Yeah. So just to jump in on what Bulk looks like right now, the iron, for lack of a better word, has spread over his legs. It is spread over his arms, and you notice that. So yesterday he was reduced in size by half. Now he looks back to his normal size, perhaps even a little bit taller, actually. And obviously his body is just it just looks like a suit of armor now, effectively.
How far has it progressed? Are his hands turtle or metal, or is there any part still turtle?
The only part that appears turtle is the metallic shell that is on his back and his turtley head.
And it doesn't look like it's trying to progress up the head?
No, it appears that the process has stopped.
Oh, it looks like whatever it is, it's stopped for the moment.
Do you want to try to give him the healing hands to see if that'll wake him up?
Yeah. Did you say we got a long rest? Because I'm actually out of key unless we took a long rest.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, you guys also took a long rest if you haven't marked that as well.
Perfect. All right. I'm gonna go up to him and I will use. Well, before I actually use any of those, because who knows what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna try to nudge him with the quarterstaff a little bit and just be like, "Bulk."
Bulk, you're awake.
Hello? Yes?
Oh, how you doing?
It seems we have recovered. We have come back.
Are you okay?
Does this sound like Bulk, or does it sound like a new voice?
No, it sounds different. You sound proper.
Yeah, so as Bulk, so he was kind of face down, and he just rolls over onto his back, and then he shoots up, and he says what he says. It looks like Bulk. I don't know if you guys have exactly seen him without his goggles and his hat, so you kind of see his weird turtley head. It's kind of like if there was a bald goblin. That's kind of what he would look like. It appears to be Bulk. Question mark?
What do you mean we have recovered?
We, Bulk, we have recovered. It seems we have transformed, ascended, achieved something I've chased for a long time.
And what was that?
I believe we have achieved resonance. True peace within the sound.
Hey, Bulk, what happened to the crystal?
We are here.
I shoot Danielus a like shady side eye of like, is he purple? Is Bulk like purple, or what color is he giving off?
So the color of so his head is completely normal. The color of his skin armor question mark is it kind of looks like what you'd imagine a very old suit of armor would look like.
Okay.
Like it's kind of lost its shine. Yeah. It's not
All
completely
right.
smooth, but it looks like armor. But it also looks like skin.
Do you feel okay, Bulk?
If you look closely, there are some tiny flecks of
Like the purplish.
delirium. It kind of
Okay.
just like catches the light in a particular way, kind of as he moves around.
All right.
Not intimately noticeable, but not super like you're not really going to hide that.
So, Bulk, do you feel better?
The best we have felt in all of existence. It seems
What?
that everything has progressed much more beautifully than ever imagined.
So, are you like younger now?
Time seems to be more of a construct than it once was. Age is hard to tell now.
What caused the explosion last night?
A miracle of sorts. It seems we have been called for a higher purpose now. A
Bulk,
true drive.
you have no idea what happened last night. The last thing you remember is performing the ritual. Actually, the last thing you remember is your vision in the flame, or in the crystal, I guess is what you were looking at. So that's the last thing you remember, and now you're here. But everything you're saying feels completely natural.
So,
It seems to have been reborn from past failures.
so was this your plan the whole time to get this for this?
It's hard to say what is a plan and what is destiny. I was chasing something in my past life, but we have achieved something here.
What happened to your little pet, the robot?
Millie? She is
Yes.
here. We are here. We have achieved resonance.
As like Farron's like processing all of this, like probably coming to the conclusion like the color of the armor did it match the color of the meteorite that held the crystal?
It did indeed.
Okay. I feel like Farron's piecing this all together and then also thinking in the back of his head like, oh shit, what are we gonna tell Rain?
River.
Oh,
River,
yeah.
Rain. One of those water names.
I also just want to jump in here. You guys had mentioned you wanted to kind of have a talk about like your alliance or your group, so to speak. So I'll say now would be a pretty good time to have that, but just kind of wrap it all into everything you got here.
All right, one step at a time. Bulk and Millie are now one. They are they. Um, what are we doing? River's gonna be here any minute, and I point at the flex, and I think there's what she's looking for.
Yeah, what are we gonna tell her, Bulk?
I'm going to attempt to stand up in my new body.
You do so.
Excellent. I believe she will be enlightened by what I have to say, and I feel like a new path is forged for most of us here tonight. I believe she too will see that we have achieved something of greater purpose.
All right, but also DM just for clarification. Last week, did Bulk openly tell all of us that this academy ruined his life?
He did indeed.
Okay, then Farron's gonna be like, but if these are the people who ruined your life, are you sure they're gonna embrace this change? Do we need to be on guard?
They are seeking change. I believe that it is inevitable for them to see the error of their ways and move on to new horizons.
All right, if that's what you think is best, I look over at Danielus like, least we can do is see this out. We're already here.
Yeah, let's see what River has to say, but
But
if they gotta take someone, let's make them take the turtle.
do you still identify as a turtle?